Better coach, better quarterback, and...
Better quarterback?
No chance.
Better quarterback!
Hello, world, and welcome back to Gridiron Campbell, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ryan, and I'm joined by the entire collective, The Disciple, Brett Colson, Donnie, DP Peters, and the resident moose himself, Mo Nuwara. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We need all comment. Give us your favorite pick this week. We need all the engagement we can get to start getting this going. We've been doing really good. We basically doubled our views from last week. Got to get the subscriber count up. You guys have been amazing as we launched this YouTube channel. Listeners, please subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. Rate and review. 5 stars only. Like Jets legend Percy Harvin. That's right. He did have a brief cup of coffee in New Jersey with the JETS.
Percy Harvin was not only 5-star, he was the number 1 overall recruit.
So my buddy played cornerback in Virginia when Percy was in high school. He played at Atlantic Shores, which is a very good team. And he actually got some D1 looks. But when he went to the high school combine, he had never done any lifting before, literally. So they put him under the bench, and he couldn't do 1 rep. So there went his college career right there. But he was like super fast and played against the big boys in Virginia, including Percy Harvin. And yeah, he said he was an absolute menace. Both on the field and off the field, by the way, which I think we all know the stories of Percy off the field in Minnesota, Seattle, and beyond. Reverse body blow on the card last week in Circa Sports Million. That Giants pick was a real stinky end to the week. Saints was stinky as well. I recapped the entire week on Breaking the Boxes, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. There were a lot of sharp people on the Giants, so I don't feel as bad, but boy, oh boy, were they absolutely steamrolled. Didn't have a chance there. And we move on to week 5 of the NFL season. There's actually a decent amount of agreement this week. The Lone Wolves are very low, except for DPs. Before record, I was giving everybody their picks, and I do it in secret because I want it to be organic on the show. And DP's like, well, I guess I have to change my pick because it was also a Lone Wolf. But we'll get to that in a second. We'll start with split.
I take it doesn't involve the Patriots.
That's the thing is... Donnie's Lone Wolf Patriots absolutely goat. It is one of his Lone Wolves again this week. The Patriots game, that is. Hint, hint. But that is not the one that nearly made the card. Split games, 2 hosts on one side, 2 hosts on the other. And we start with one where Brett and I really have a strong opinion. It's Bengals at Cardinals, which had a look ahead of don't adjust your mobile device, your television sets, however you're watching this. A look ahead of 8.5 in favor of those Cincinnati Bengals. It has since come crumbling down to 2.5. 3s are starting to show, and 3 is what it is in the contest. So finally, some buyback on the Bengals. And Brett and I are also buying back on a team that has been disastrous to start the season against a team that was supposed to be a bottom dweller, but has been frisky. Brett, I'll let you lead things off. What do you like, Cincy, here?
Listen, I love what the Cardinals are doing. Somehow this team is 7th in offense DVOA, 9th in offense EPA, with Josh Dobbs at quarterback. That is wild. But I am not going to miss an opportunity to sell this team that we all thought was going to be a 3-win team, while I can simultaneously buy Bengals stock when it could not be lower. We know what Joe Burrow can be. We know what this offense can be. The 2-year sample of greatness significantly outweighs whatever this first quarter of the season has been with Joe Burrow injured. What better spot to get this train back on the track than against Arizona? This defense is so bad. And no, we don't know if Burrow's calf has healed, but we do know that against this Cards front, he will have clean pockets to pick apart this secondary. Whether he can plant his foot and make a good throw yet is yet to be determined, but he says his calf feels better now than it has all season. I am willing to take the risk here and not be late on Bengals positive regression. It will come eventually. they better not blow it here. Like, if they lose this game, season's cooked. So I love this spot for the Bengals. And it's funny, Rich, you sent over the stats this morning on how bad we are picking favorites. This is like so not what we're supposed to do, is pick road favorites in the contest, but here I am. I love the Bengals in this spot.
There's a couple of spots this week where it's just gone. This is the week of it's gone too far, right? Yeah. And even teams that I don't like. Look, nobody has gone onto the internet and spread information on RSS feeds as vehemently negative Burrow as I have to start the season. I've called him a bum. I've called him a hack. He's been terrible. If you're out there, I don't want to hear any excuses. Play good football. But if ever there was a spot for Joey Covers to get right and play football, it's this one. Like you said about the Cardinals, not getting any pressure, 27th in the league. And last week would have been the fakest, most undeserved backdoor cover for Arizona. They were absolutely trounced by the Niners, gave up 2 fake long drives with the Niners in soft-ass quarters coverage, just let them walk down the field. But the Niners were 2+ net yards per play, 3 of 5 on third. They had 5 third downs the whole game. 5 third downs, moving the ball at will against the Cardinals. That was a fake near cover. They were curb stomped by San Francisco. Mo, you obviously disagree. A ton of head shaking for those watching on YouTube. Go ahead.
Just because nobody said their defense played good. Their offense was solid. You can cover 14 with just an offense, 15, and you can do that, and they should have. In all fairness, let's be real here.
Right side cover.
But then I don't like when you guys are saying, "Well, we know what Joe Burrow can do." Do we? We don't know. We don't know.
I'm surprised, Brett. My favorite part of this cap,
he's toast.
He could be toast. There's a non-zero chance that this dude is absolutely toast, and this is a disaster, and the Cards win in a rout. But you know what's funny? My favorite part of this cap, and I'm upset Brett didn't bring it up, is so T. Higgins hasn't practiced yet, and I think this is great for the contest because even more people are going to be hesitant to click Cincinnati if T. Higgins doesn't play. DP, any comments on this one of 2 split games here in week 5?
I mean, I think you guys are insane. I don't know how you could lay 3 on the road with this Bengals team.
That's the point.
I mean, yeah, do whatever you want. Have your effing fun. This is beyond stupid. All this Cardinals team does every single week is show up, play their ass off. Now they're going to play against a stupid team with a stupid quarterback that is hurt and can't attack this defense. Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Just one team has all world talent, the other has nothing.
The other one has Josh Dobbs, who has.
It doesn't matter what talent you have if your talent does absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Just listen
every single week. Nothing.
Joey, just listen to Jamar. That's all I'm going to tell you. 20 targets for number 1. Just pepper him, please. I'm begging you.
Yeah, but the Cardinals have a sharp coaching staff. What if they just double him every play?
Triple
Make one of these
Chase
losers
because
beat
that's
you.
all they're going to do is throw to him.
We move to the second and final split contest, Packers at Raiders. This has been ping-ponging between ones. Look ahead of 1 in favor of the Packers, opened 1 in favor of the Raiders. It's back to 1 in favor of the Packers in some markets. I'm also seeing a 1 in favor of the Raiders in others. And I guess I have the highest opinion on this game, and it is on the traveling Green Bay Packers, who, I said it last week, I guess facetiously, starting to get healthier, maybe, question mark, against a Raiders team that will be getting Jimmy Garoppolo back from concussion protocol, it looks like. And we know the Jimmy G cap. If Jimmy G's protected, he can move the rock. If he's not, it can be dangerous. Packers are 7th in pressure rate. And this is rule of none of Las Vegas and none of the Los Angeles teams have home field. This is going to be a home game for the Packers, a travel spot, a lot of green and yellow. I
personally know some Packers fans going to this game.
There you go. We've got the mini buys, so the Packers are coming off extra rest. And for Jordan Love, a guy who struggled mightily against the Lions and has been struggling when you look at his success rate numbers. I think it's a really good bounce back spot against a Raiders defense that's 30th in EPA on defense and bottom 5 in pretty much every meaningful metric. DP, you two are taking the road favorite, in quotation marks here, dump on your local Las Vegas Raiders.
Better coach, better quarterback. You mentioned the fake Raiders home game scenario. I mean, this is the fakest home field advantage in the history of home field advantage. It's a joke here. Until that novelty of traveling to Vegas to watch your team wears off, no home games for the Raiders. It's just not happening. You mentioned the health. Are they going to get Jair Alexander back? Possibly. Aaron Jones getting healthier and healthier. I mean, come on. Come on.
They basically treated
and
that.
put Jimmy G in there, please. I love it. Jimmy G coming off a concussion, seen this before. Plenty of times Jimmy G has been hurt before. He'll stand in the pocket. He'll be rattled because the guy is scared. He's always scared. That's why he's so quick to get injured all the time. Have fun with that, guys. Have fun.
Mo bouncing around like he's got his net worth on this game. What side are you even?
I've got the over and I've got all the fantasy equity in this game. A lot of Fields, a lot of DJ. Who put -6 by Washington's name?
Oh, DJ, nice
This
catch.
is idiotic.
Like, you haven't seen the Bears blow massive leads already this year.
If they blow it, the over's coming home.
Then Mo gets the cash is over. Brett, you're the highest on the Vegas Raiders.
Oh, no. I don't have much here. This is I need to come back on Saturday and cap this game because it looks like Jimmy G's going to play. Is Devontae Adams going to play? This is the revenge spot for Devontae Adams, right? I don't know. I have to come back. You guys know I'm higher on Jimmy G than anybody else. You said the Packers have the better quarterback. Do they? Is Jordan Love better than Jimmy G? I don't know that yet.
The fact that you're even questioning it answers the question, okay?
Why?
Because Jimmy G is supposed to be like a top 5-6 guy based on like what everyone said, what he's been paid, all this sort of stuff.
EPA
Jordan
would put
Love
this guy
was
first
drafted
ballot.
as a project.
Can I run something by you guys?
Go for it.
What do we think of over 44.5? Isn't this insanely low? Who was getting a stop in this game? I was looking at that. I was just like, wait a second. 44 indoors?
I would wait.
These passing offenses are decent?
I would
if
even
the
wait
quarterbacks are.
because if Devontae's ruled out, this thing's going to come down. And I still like Jacoby, like, and like you said, it's not like the Packers defenses are world beaters out there.
I mean, the Packers O-line got embarrassed last week, but the Raiders are like the worst at pressuring the quarterback.
Yeah, 29th in pressure rate are those Vegas Raiders, 27th in adjusted sack rate on the D-line. Quick split games. Let's get into the Lone Wolves. Donnie's got 3 Lone Wolves, including one that right now, as it stands, because his top pick was sniped by the collective, would make the card. And it is a team that is near and dear to my heart. This is one of those it's gone too far spots, in my opinion. And I think it's gone way too far that this has not only come off the 3, but has crumbled down to 1 in Circa. But DP is all in on Zach Wilson and Gangrene.
Yeah. What is the Denver defense actually going to do to hurt Zach Wilson? They can't do anything. They are all-time bad. All-time. And the Denver offense is horrendous going against this Jets defense. And honestly, there's a little bit of rallying around Zach Wilson. I don't know what you're seeing, Rich, but I see it, and I'm not even a Jets fan. I'm not in those Jets discords, all that sort of stuff. All I see is these people rallying around Zach Wilson. They're going to crush this team. Crush them.
Once everybody got over the fact that they thought that there was a conspiracy theory from the NFL because of Taylor Swift that they wanted the Chiefs to win that game, which was that was a tough Monday to be in that Jets Discord and listen to everybody freaking out about how the NFL is rigged. I had to put it on mute for about 12 hours there. Look, in my heart of hearts, I'm with you, DP. This is an unbelievable spot for Zach to continue building upon what he did on some of those drives on Sunday night against a team that is last in pressure rate, last in success rate stopping the pass, last in pass defense EPA, a team that just made Justin Fields look like Joe Montana on Sunday, but Justin is kind of balling out tonight, so maybe the lights come on here in year 3. But I just can't get down with this number and this movement. Denver's still a tough place to play. It's still at altitude. Denver's getting a lot of guys back on defense. Justin Simmons, Mike Purcell.
Why is Denver a tough place to play? The fans don't give a living
it's
crap
Denver.
about
Because it's in the mountains.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, these guys get to train. These guys get to train for months at altitude, and
whatever.
then these other guys come in and they're not used to it. It's also kind of a house of horrors for the Jets. We've gone there 3 straight years, and they've all been bad games, including last year where we did win, but we lost Breece Hall and AVT for the season in that game. So I don't feel good about it. I think the Jets should absolutely curb stomp this team. Win one for Hackett, clown ass Sean Payton, but I have a really bad feeling about this game. Mo,
The Jets are better, right? The Jets are a better team.
on both
'Cause that's my
on
cap.
both
It's like
sides
the Jets
of the ball
are better.
on actually 3 phases because the Jets are number 1 in special teams DVOA. The Jets are better at everything.
Wait, what's Brett's cap? I'm confused.
Brett's just
He
playing the
had
number.
Jets
Brett's
or
just playing the number,
Broncos?
right?
Yeah, it's Zach Wilson on the road in a negative environment for him. Like I don't like the spot for the Jets. Even though I think they're a better football team, I don't like this spot.
I think I had them both in my bottom 5 or so. I might have had the Jets above them. But this is a beautiful spot to fade the Jets. They're coming off a game where they just got up. They played their best game. Deflating loss to the Chiefs.
It wasn't deflating.
The coach
I'll stop you there. It was not deflating. This locker room.
It had to be. Look at he really thought they had
they
a
were
chance.
right
They
there
were
with
gonna
the
get it.
Chiefs. What are you talking about?
This was moral victory AF. And this is not a coach or a staff that believes in moral victories. But after those 2 Dallas and Patriot games where they couldn't play modern offense, for Zach to be able to string those drives together, they've got a pep in their step. For sure.
That's why it's the perfect time to fade, though, because he ain't going to do that again. Donnie's like, well, Zach Wilson, they won't stop. They don't need to stop Zach Wilson. He will stop himself. He will do awful things on a football field like he does in 90% of the games.
And look
but
at the
he didn't
Broncos.
do it
Look
last
what the
week.
Broncos do playing against one of the best. Now they're playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL. They can't do anything unless they're playing against the Bears.
What
Other
if
than
the
that,
Jets
they are
aren't one of the
horrendous.
best? What if Rich is completely insane about that? Throw me one stat that tells me the Jets are great. You can't do it.
Yeah, just rush defense. But then why have Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes both played their worst games in many years this season against this defense?
I wouldn't go as that far, but I mean, they've been better for sure.
I mean,
Did you
Mahomes
watch the
was just
games?
handing the ball to the Jets. Is that just like magic or is that white magic? Like, he was awful.
Yeah, that was,
He was
dude,
outplayed.
He lost his mind.
He was
on a
outplayed
couple
by
of
Zach
those.
Wilson.
And Josh has
Lost
played
his
2 of his worst games
mind
Yeah,
a couple of times.
I
against the Jets.
so like, yeah, I believe in these. I love these numbers. I do this whole stat sheet, and I'm obsessed with all these advanced analytics. But this Jets team is bending good offenses into pretzels. So I don't know.
I mean,
Wait.
come on, it's not that.
Wait,
bad.
Howell missed that throw?
Yeah. Absolute layup.
Oh
Anyways, Breece Hall should definitely go bananas. What is the prop for Breece Hall this week?
Why didn't
Take over.
Why didn't I wake
If
up
it's
on
not
Monday morning?
79.5, it's too low.
He's so open. Why didn't I wake up on Monday morning to Breece Hall being released? Dalvin Cook being released. I can't believe
This is a game where running backs matter because Breece Hall is a helpful player and Dalvin Cook is as bad as an NFL running back gets.
It's unbelievable.
And they know they can't give him the ball. That's why they came out and said that in the meeting. Well, we're ready to give Breece Hall. He's good. He's healthy.
Well, that's-
no, they watched the Dalvin Cook tape. He
s-
can't be on the field.
No, I will say Saleh lies all the time. Nobody lies more in press conferences than Robert Saleh. Just the other day. Oh, and also the biggest part of this cap, speaking of injuries, DJ Reed is in concussion protocol and probably won't play. And I know Donnie is crapping on this Denver offense, but they're chock ton of explosive plays. This has been a very Russell Wilson offense where the success rate is kind of meh, but the splash plays are there. And if you have one cornerback out on one side of the field, I think that's a little bit dangerous for, oh my God, how? Oh my God.
It's 59.5.
Oh my God. He dropped that.
Well, shouldn't this have been 2 touchdowns? I kind of think both of those hit the guys in the hands, but they won't show up close what happened. But yeah, it's a great spot to fade the Jets, guys. It just is.
Yeah.
I'm
the number's right. I hate
Mo, 59.5 for Brees Hall.
20 yards too low. Get on your Brees Hall overs. This Denver defense stinks. They stink, and if the Jets are really going to hand to Brees Hall, he's going to get some yards.
Donnie's next lone wolf. The Tennessee Titans travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This was a look ahead of Colts -1, but the Titans are 2.5-point favorites in real life. Circa is showing 1.5, predicting a little bit of a move back to the home side. And DP is on his guy, Mike Vrabel, and the Titans. The Titans who got us a cover last week, DP.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the way that you attack this Titans team is what the Colts are good at, and I think it plays really into the hands of the Titans in this spot. Like, I think Steichen, Richardson, like they want to play, like, you know, run the ball with the quarterback and all that sort of stuff. Like, I think you got to throw the ball and you got to throw the ball downfield. Listen, I'm higher than Anthony Richardson than I was coming into the season. I think everyone is. I think we all are. But I just don't see him attacking the downfield plays like he needs to in this spot. And I think this game really sets up well for the Titans. I also think, I don't know, Vrabel in these spots always seems to just crush the Colts. So I'm going to back my guy once again. I'm not going to, I think we need to kind of straddle that fence of, not going too far with the Titans for sure. But I'm not willing to get off just yet.
Why are we kicking 51-yard field goals on 4th and 4 down 3 scores?
I don't want to hear any more about this game.
I mean, they made it, but it's just no one ever called this guy Riverboat ever again. Brett, you are the highest on my guy, Anthony Richardson. Stop besmirching him, DP, as if he can't crush this extreme pass funnel that is the Titans.
I just said I'm higher on him than I
but
was.
You said
coming
that they
into
can't.
the
They're not going to
season.
be able to throw. But
he doesn't throw the ball down the field. Okay,
it's because his WR1 is a slot merchant in Michael Pittman, and they have 19 tight ends.
Well, is Reggie Wayne coming back, or what's going on?
They have 19 tight ends on the team, including something Granson, who dropped the most beautiful.
There's a new one every week. Now there's something called Ogletree. Where do they keep digging these guys up? They only scout tight ends? What's going on here?
Mo Alley Cox. They literally have just a factory of tight ends. But yeah, Granson dropped the most beautiful back shoulder, or else the Colts would have won that game. Brett, you like Indy. Bubbled your card.
Yeah, what's going on with this number? I don't get it. Why are the Titans favored by 2.5?
I don't know, because they just smacked Zombie Burrow.
Yes, that's why. And I understand the concerns here because it's Richardson against Vrabel. This could get really ugly for the Colts because of Richardson's propensity to hand it over. But like you said, he could also pick this secondary apart. This number is just confusing to me. Like, how can the Titans be road favorites when these teams look so similar to me from a market perspective? I don't understand what's going on with this number. I wanted to put it on my card, but I'm a little confused. I might be missing something, so I wasn't confident enough to throw it on the card. But after looking, I'll look a little more on Friday. I might sneak this one into my top 5. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a great spot for the Colts.
The point you make there is kind of where I landed, because this is below the fold for me. Intuitively, I love Indy in this spot, but there's just something weird about this where I don't get the number. I don't get the market support for Tennessee. So I am fearful that I'm just flat out missing something. One game where I know for a fact I'm not missing one damn thing is Saints at Patriots. And Donnie is a lone wolf in a Patriots game again, but this time the blinders have been chucked off. He could see bright-eyed, and he's on the New Orleans Saints at a pick'em. This was, I believe, New England -2 on the look ahead. Let me just confirm. I didn't set up when I did this transition. -1.5.
2. Well, I think it was 1.5, 2, 2.5. They're different.
Short
numbers,
of a field goal,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
On the look ahead. And DP, blinders off, hates Belichick again, is all in on the Saints.
I've hated him for how many years now? 3 years? 2 years? I don't know. Who cares? The guy's horrible now. He's just horrible. Christian Gonzalez, see ya. Matt Judon, see ya. This team is not good. They can't get anything going on offense. The Saints are a superior team here. They're going to beat this team in New England. Start the Bill Belichick fired chance now. Let's start them in the tailgate. Let's go.
So a couple things here. We've got Bill Belichick coming off his worst loss of his career, and that includes Cleveland. That's number one.
Okay, does he care? No, he doesn't care anymore. He's like 78. He doesn't care.
Number two, we've got better coach, better quarterback in this spot because Carr is out there playing with a sprained AC joint and cannot throw the ball more than 5 yards. This game is insane.
And Matt can throw it more than what, 6?
Yes, he can.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This isn't Dallas's defense, okay? This is a Saints defense, which is okay, but they're absolutely not world beaters. And you talk about those 2 injuries, and you're absolutely right. From a season outlook, they're terrible. Gonzalez was awesome. Judon is obviously a key cog. But when you play against a team that isn't even interested in throwing the ball, do those injuries really matter? I'm not sure they do. On top of that, the Patriots sneakily second in blitz rate and 10th in pressure rate. So it's not like Judon one-on-one is the guy creating pressure. They're actually creating pressure from their looks and as a team as opposed to as a group of individuals. I think this is just a tremendous spot off a devastating loss. A Saints team that is absolutely putrid on offense that is going to get... If the Saints get to 14 in this game, I'll be flabbergasted. So we just need Matt.
It's going to happen, the Patriots are going to they might get to 10. They might get to 10. Listen, unless Dante Scarnecchia comes walking through that door and fixes the offensive line, this is horrible. Bad news.
I will say 19 mile an hour winds, 34 mile an hour gusts. Under 39.5 is definitely...
Yeah, how is anyone going to score in this game?
Brett, you are the...
How can anyone be confident in this game either? What are the Saints doing at quarterback? I don't even know what's going on there.
Need Jameis. Absolutely need Jameis.
Brett, you're the highest.
Always.
You're the second highest on the Patriots. You're scorned lover on this game.
Yeah, this is Mo's rule of bet the team that looked the worst last week. And the Saints looked bad, for sure, but nobody was as bad as New England last week.
Did we lose Brett? There he is.
You lost me?
Yeah, just count yourself in.
Yeah, you froze for a second.
Whatever take you gave, just give it again.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, this is the rule of bet the team that looked the worst last week. And while the Saints were bad, unfortunately for us, nobody was as bad as New England. And we saw this move significantly off the look ahead. They get another home game like this. Yeah, I think you have to take the Patriots here at this spot.
We move to Brett's Lone Wolves, which are the absolute last 2 picks. Oh, look at him. He's so disgusted. He said he has no notes. But, buddy, I need you to pick up your sword, get in a fighting stance, and defend the New York Giants plus 11.5 visiting the greatest football team. Miami and the Dolphins, the greatest football team. Go for it.
I was looking this morning at the openers back in May. When books posted this in May, it was Dolphins minus 4.5. And we're in a world now where it's 11.5 after the Dolphins lost by 30 last week. Like, how down is the market on the Giants right now? It could not be any worse. But what am I supposed to do with this? Like, of course the Giants are going to be double-digit underdogs here. And I understand why. I have a hard time getting to 11.5 with the Dolphins. We know what they can do, but they can also give up chunks. And maybe this is the week Daboll figures it out with Daniel Jones. I don't.
This is not the week. This is not the week.
Have you
the
watched
Dolphins?
this offense?
I don't care.
Stop what you're saying right now, because I want you to answer a question. And I already know the answer, but I'm letting the viewers know. Did you watch Monday Night Football? I know it was past your bedtime, so you be honest.
I watched until that pick 6 happened, and that I gave up.
That's probably more than I would have guessed.
We had it on the card. I had to try, right? And I actually had money. I had money on the Giants
how
too.
That offense is keeping up with Miami.
They don't have to keep up.
They can't even get a first down on Seattle. They have an awful defense.
But when the other team can and will score 60 if they get the chance, you need to keep up, buddy. Okay?
Seattle,
you need to keep up.
Seattle entered the game down 2 DBs, and their safety got kicked in the head 5 plays in and was out for the game. And yeah, the Giants could not move the rock. I thought Andrew Thomas was going to play. That was obviously a huge part of my cap in that game, which came back to bite us. Monday night games, just the worst. And he's trending towards not playing again. So yeah, Mo, you're the highest on the Dolphins.
No, here's my cap. Saquon for 250. There it is. That's how they score points in this game. Saquon's back.
In every lineup Red House.
I remember the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs. That's what the Dolphins are. They're the 2018 Chiefs. They can't get a stop. But if you can't score, you have no shot of keeping up because, like Donnie said, the Dolphins are always going to score 30. They got wrecked by the Bills. That's fine. The Bills are very good.
Not always.
This is different than that. Giants they have awful corners. They have the worst corners. I mean, maybe they're going to be good someday. Right now, they're awful. They're kids. They're going to get smoked by the Dolphins.
Brett's other lone wolf, his very last selection, another stinky one, another double-digit dog. He took the Carolina Panthers, getting 10 points, traveling to Detroit Motor City to take on the Lions. I should give some respect. This is a double game. Brett, take it away.
Yeah, the look ahead on this game was 7, a key number. It is now 10, a key number. I can't. I just can't. I blindly picked Panthers because I cannot wrap my head around that with the Lions. I know the Lions are good. I actually have the Lions. I have them like 6 or 7 in my power rankings. They're a good football team, but I can't lay 10 points with Jared Goff.
And then they dressed Bryce Young, who is not an NFL quarterback. He cannot play in the league. I'm sorry. He just can't.
They got a defensive touchdown, and they scored 13 points on Minnesota's defense.
They got a defensive touchdown, and they failed to cover as 5-point home dogs deservedly. Like, they were nowhere in the neighborhood of
the
covering.
Chicago Bears were my 32 out of 32 for a couple weeks there. They would beat the Panthers by 17.
They're just
okay.
That's how bad. You got to start Dalton. What are they doing?
That's one of those things where they're in a 6th spot too because they
can sit Young and just nurture him and bring him along like most successful, coming in quarterbacks do.
They've got no draft equity. There's no cavalry coming. They're Icky, who they took last year, 2 years ago, is an absolute turnstile on the offensive line. Like, all their high leverage pieces are garbage. Their quarterback is not getting protected and nobody's getting open. It's nightmare fuel in Carolina. Frank Reich, I don't think is very good. I think
you're right.
I was on the fence about Frank Reich
in
Indy, and now he's just not good.
How can you watch what the Cardinals are doing? Don't fist pump for that god awful call.
No, I'm pointing to the thing behind me here, the comeback, Frank Reich.
Yeah, how can you watch what the Cardinals are doing with these players and just respect anything Frank Reich is doing? I mean, Donnie's right. Donnie's absolutely 100% right. I know that there's a lot of data that says you got to get these guys reps. It's the only way they'll learn, whatever. But I think when those reps are actively harmful to the player, they're like potentially building bad habits. This is like negative. Just let Andy Dalton take these bullets. And that's the way they should do it, honestly. And not only is he betting, and we might actually be able to win betting on a Panthers game, but yeah, I don't know. At the same time, you
start Dalton, you put Bryce there, you warm him up, and if you want to make money as ownership, put together some red freaking Mohawks and sell them to everyone. Okay, that's how you solve this whole problem. Okay.
Aiden Hutchinson heard you talking shit, by the way, Mo, in the preseason. This Lions team is 30th in blitz rate.
He's beating losers.
Well,
third string Packers. I know it doesn't count.
You know who's going to be
any
lining up
better for
against
me,
this week? A bunch of losers.
But isn't this? I will say, I would much rather lay the wood with the Dolphins than Detroit's going to get up and run the ball.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The Panthers are 32nd in rush defense EPA. 31st
I know. They're
in
last
success
in
rate.
everything. I get that.
So you could be running the clock out and score 2 more touchdowns.
This is like the sleepiest game for Detroit, coming off a huge win. I don't know. I wouldn't want to touch this, though.
I don't think there's sleepy spots with Dan Campbell. I don't think this is the guy who does, what does he do? Like a Trenta with like 5 shots of espresso? Like, I don't think that guy doesn't sleep, so there are no sleepy spots for Dan Campbell. All right, I'm up next. I've got a lone wolf. It's my last selection. I think in my heart of hearts, it's absolutely the right side. I love this pick, but the whole world is telling me I'm an idiot, including all of you, who I believe all of you have the other side in your top 5. Yes, each and every one of you have Cowboys plus 3.5. And I just think that the Niners are better at everything than the Cowboys. You guys can circle it all you want, that playoff loss by Dallas, but
how about 2 playoff losses, sir? 2 years in a row.
Circle.
We've got better coach, better quarterback in San Francisco. And
better quarterback?
No chance,
Better
Brock Purdy.
quarterback.
And I hate Dak. There's no chance Brock Purdy is better than Dak Prescott. No chance.
Brock Purdy is not better than Dak Prescott. You are out of your mind.
At what point? At what point?
Trade them places.
Purdy
That's the only way
stands
we'll
back
know.
there in the most perfect pockets with a great coach scheming for him. Give me a break. If you put Dak on the 49ers, they'd go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl.
Stop.
What is wrong with you?
Stop. At what point are we going to give this kid his flowers? I don't know what I don't know what the market is seeing here I think this is just a fair line. Like, why aren't the San Francisco 49ers 2 to 1.5 points better than the Cowboys on a neutral field? Why is that so shocking to everybody? Mo, you're shaking your head.
No, I'm just the Bears are embarrassing the Commanders. I mean, dude, you guys have got to stop with Sam Howell. He's atrocious. I never want to hear it again. He's getting wrecked by the Bears. They have 3 points. The Bears have allowed 30 points to everyone.
Mo, why does everybody love the Cowboys this much?
Because this is double circled and the Cowboys are just as good as the 49ers, top to bottom from a talent perspective. How are they not? Where are the 49ers significantly better than the Cowboys?
Coaching.
This has to be a 3-point line. It has to be.
Coaching.
Why is this line not 3?
Coaching.
I'm terrified of Dallas, Dak Prescott in a negative script, whatever, or any sort of, even if it's neutral, I don't care. If he just feels like he has to make a play, I'm terrified. But if the Cowboys can just make this a normal game where they can run the ball, whole playbook is open, why can't they beat this 49ers defense that Arizona gained 7 yards of play on? I mean, why can't they, dude? The 49ers have not played an NFL team yet.
And who has Dallas played? Neither of these teams have played anybody. San Francisco, 31st schedule, Dallas, 30th. So I don't want to hear about San Francisco having an easier schedule. And Dallas got punched in the face by the Cardinals.
Easier. The Patriots would destroy these other teams. I'm sorry. They would. They did destroy the Jets. They would beat the Giants. And they would beat the Cardinals, I'm pretty sure, but I'm never sure about the Cardinals anymore, I guess. But
and the Niners,
dude, come on,
the Niners have
these
dominated
teams are evenly matched.
The Niners have dominated all these teams by playing football. The Cowboys have dominated all these teams by getting all these goofy turnovers and fumble sixes and shit like that. They're number 1 in EPA off turnovers. So I don't know. I think the Niners could smack the Cowboys here. I think the Niners and the Dolphins in their own style of football are just 1A, 1B in this league right now by a comfortable margin. Look at Brett, how disgusted he is that they just beat the Dolphins.
How can you say that right now?
I'm with Brett. This is crazy.
Because
why do you?
Because the Dolphins
You were saying weeks ago how overrated the Niners were. That's what you've been saying. You said that.
Yeah, I think I came around. They just keep doing it, man.
Why?
Why not?
No. Because they're eating cream puffs for breakfast.
Good talk.
killing it.
This
Good
is
talk.
nothing.
But they're beating them by infinity. And what's the most predictive thing? Blowing people out. Like
Yeah, it is.
they're
but
handling their business.
So did the Cowboys. They sleepwalked 1 week. Whatever.
Honestly, the only
Which
reason
was also predictive.
very predictive. The only reason the Dolphins lost that game, Brett, is they had that random dude from Cote d'Ivoire covering Diggs. Like, where'd that guy come from? Why was he on Diggs the whole game?
Kudu.
Why did he miss 3 tackles on Diggs on the same exact play?
With all due respect, he was not really on Diggs at all because Diggs was doing whatever he wanted out there.
Like, I don't know why that guy still has a job. They should have just left him in Orchard Park.
Well, they put him in that position to cover Diggs there. Like, what are they doing?
They don't have Ramsey yet. This team, just wait.
Well,
The cavalry's
that's fair.
coming. Those are the Lone Wolves. DP's got the Jets, Titans, and Saints. Brett has the Giants and Panthers, and I got them Niners, not them boys. All right, week 5. Time for some winners. Here comes the card.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
This is great because before the show, Donnie said that he'll be tinkering because his top pick is sniped by the collective. His next pick is a lone wolf. But unfortunately for him, his third pick was a split contest in which Brett has the other side, and it is Brett's number 1 pick. That's when you're supposed to say your pick, Brett.
Oh, me? You said Donnie.
He said you have the other side of Donnie's pick.
Yeah, I've got Joey B. Bet the -3.
Who day?
Bet the Bengals alternates. What's the
Who
highest
day?
you can get?
I mean,
Minus
7.5
20.
plus 300 or something? Let's go.
-20.
Plus 270? What would it be, Mo?
insane.
What is?
What would minus 7.5 be? Just off.
Oh, no. It'll be like plus 185 or something.
These books are such scum.
Keep going. Keep going. Higher. I'm looking it up right now. What's the highest?
Well, DP, you're up next because you were the only other person with a winning week last week. Top pick's not by the collective. Second pick is the lone wolf. Third pick is off the board. Number 4, I will tell you, is a consensus pick. So if you do want to pivot,
I mean, if I pivot, I just don't know if I want to pivot to my number 4.
well, you can stick it in as a placeholder because it'll give us an opportunity to talk about a consensus game, and we can revisit it. So does that work?
Yeah, I think placeholder with a very strong backup due to my record as a lone wolf in Patriots games. I'm sorry, guys. I just am. Like, I have to go where the data tells me to go, and the data tells me to go that I'm like infinite in 2.
What's the sample
Wait
size?
a
7
minute.
games?
What do you mean? The sample size is great.
Wait, he's going like in the middle of his card.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I told you this is the rule. If I'm a lone wolf in a Patriots game, it just automatically gets a rocket to the top. I'm sorry. Those are the rules. I don't make them. Trust the data.
So that's your placeholder. I mean, it's your pick.
No, right now the placeholder is the Chiefs, but I'm going to think about the other one.
Kansas City Chiefs, a consensus pick. This was Chiefs -6 on the look ahead. It is 3.5 in real life, 4 in Circa. What is Minnesota going to do to stop Patrick Mahomes, Mo?
Have fun blitzing Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Brian Flores. You are going to get eaten alive out there.
We've got
But
Mahomes
why
coming
does the
off
market love the Vikings?
I
This
have-
is so bizarre to me.
I've
This seems like the easiest cap in the world.
triple middle fingers to the market on this one because this is Mahomes coming off of an atrocious game in primetime. That guy is pissed. He wants nothing more than to come out and throw 5 or 6 touchdowns in this game. Rashee Rice, that guy's coming online. He's nice. Kelsey was super quiet on Sunday night as well. This is like an hour and a half flight, right, from Kansas City. This is like a nothing road trip. I think the Chiefs are absolutely going to smoke the Vikes in the spot.
I was going to say, this is an alt game for me. Find alt. This is the one where you find the highest alt, because this could be 41-10 like the Cowboys did to them last year. Dude, the Chiefs match up so well with the Vikings. It's like ridiculous. The Vikings never run the ball. The Chiefs want you to pass. And how are the Vikings going to get a stop here? I don't understand. I think everyone is just seeing, okay, well, Vikings, they can pass the ball, they can cover the back door, which maybe, but if it's 41-0, they ain't covering.
I actually like the under.
It's not going to be a backdoor chance.
I love Chiefs and the under because I think it's exactly what you said, Mo. I think it's like 35-10. Like, yeah, I think this is an absolute.
Well, also, the Chiefs' defense, I think, has been pretty solid, right? Kirk Cousins, yeah, they beat the Panthers last week. They only scored 21 against the horrific Panthers, and Kirk Cousins looked like an idiot the whole time. And he's looked like an idiot all season.
Touchdown, so they actually only scored 14.
Yeah, so now this Chiefs team is coming at you. Like, good luck, Kirk Cousins. Good luck.
The Kirk cap is similar to some of these other mediocre quarterbacks. If he's pressured, time to pounce. Casey, second in pressure rate. So it's coming, and Kirk's going to have to get rid of the ball, and we know what happens in those scenarios. Mo, you are up next, and you are also going to give us a consensus pick. It's a home dog. It is the cornerstone of my theme of this week of it's just gone a little bit too far. It's gone too far for this team, Mo.
I thought you guys were going to be mad because I fired another ugly one. I'm the master of ugly this year. This is the ugliest. Steelers +4. Guys.
This isn't ugly. This is a lock, Mo. Wait,
I don't have any
good job.
Logical reason for this, but I know this is the right side. Okay? But then I should say that was my first instinct was I can't make an argument for this. And then I looked back and I realized the Ravens have low-key played the easiest schedule in the NFL. Nobody is talking about it because they've played some reasonable teams. Multiple backup quarterbacks. They played Houston week 1 when CJ Stroud had to go on the road against a solid team for his debut. That was never going to go well. I don't care. Unless you're Patrick Mahomes, future Hall of Fame lock. That's never going to go well, okay? So, whatever. I'm willing to write that one off.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, right. Hurt Joe Burrow, which look at the Bengals.
Minshew.
They're atrocious.
DTR. I mean, come on.
Minshew, and then literally a 5th-round rookie, I think, guys. I mean, the Ravens have not played a real, like, solid team, and I don't know if Pittsburgh is solid, but they at least have good players, and they have a coach who is going to get them up for this game. I know that. And, dude, the only time the Ravens were under an ounce of pressure, they folded up this year. They did. They looked awful in that crunch time against the Colts. I know that there was that missed call, but then their defense got wrecked in overtime. I mean, I don't know, man. Kenny Pickett, he's coming back, which scares me a little bit.
Yeah,
I
that
honestly
actually pissed
wish
me off. I wanted Trubisky.
Pickett is pretty bad, and then another
rule of AFC North.
Awful, ugly game here.
+4. These two teams, the home team's getting 4 points. No,
this is another one with wind whipping. Could be rainy. I don't know what that does to these teams, but it just could be randomness, and randomness favors underdogs.
I brought this up on Breaking the Boxes as well. I don't think this Todd Monken thing is working either. I think the success that the Ravens have been having has been your true Lamar Jackson balling out, which Lamar Jackson can ball out. That is something we've seen on many occasions, but there's a ton of variance with that as well when it comes to ball protection and turnovers. So it's not like this offense is clicking outside of Zay Flowers, who has just walked into the NFL and been elite immediately. So shouts to the kid from BC. But outside of that, yeah, there's been nothing super impressive from a Ravens team, and they're trying to get us all excited about these guys coming back from injury. something Bateman's back, guys. The corpse of Odell Beckham is back. Get excited. Brett, you
Here's my
worried at
fear.
all? Yeah, I just see worry.
I have
on
a
your
little
face.
bit, just because I have all the same notes. I like the Steelers here a lot too. My worry is that we're going to be coming back next week and saying the same thing. The Ravens haven't played anybody yet because they just wiped the floor with a terrible Steelers team. Like, that is very possible too. And then we're just off the Ravens again next week. It's just becoming a trend here that I'm afraid of. We like the Ravens last week for obvious Ravens reasons, but yeah, I don't know. The Steelers are so bad.
This checks all of our boxes.
It does.
Personally, the collective. Also, Mo, I know you mentioned team looked the worst last week was the Patriots. Well, the team that looked the second worst last week was the Steelers. Got their doors blown off by the Houston Texans. Okay.
How much are we going to be cursing Matt Canada on Sunday?
Oh my God. You've got no idea. Yeah, I mean, this whole week, everybody's finally catching up to me and my love for CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. So, yeah, this definitely is the time to back the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, I'm up next, and unless DP snipes me with his revert, I've got the Saints. Or excuse me, I've got the Patriots. See, Donnie's screwing me up
Well,
now.
this for sure
Donnie's-
can't happen.
Donnie's
I mean, what in the world are you doing to
screwing me
us?
up now. So I've got it tied.
No, you're screwing us up.
I've got it tied with another game in terms of confidence points, which is a consensus pick. And I'm very happy to pivot. I did it for you guys last week. I pivoted for you guys last week, and I ended up putting on a loser instead of a winner. So I'm happy to kowtow to the collective again.
Don't do it, because then we have to hear you complain when it loses again.
The team
You guys did this. That's what we always hear. It's you guys did this.
The team I have tied with the Patriots is double sounder game. The Atlanta Falcons playing host to my beloved Houston Texans. And I lied. There was one more it's gone too far game. And this is it. Guys, it's gone too far. Nobody has... I guess Brett was the first one to shower love and say that the Texans could win this division. So hat tip to him. But I picked up...
But that I bet a number.
I picked up the
didn't
drum.
think they were actually going to win the division.
Like, yeah, Brett was like tapping the drum. I picked up the drum and I was just banging the bass as loud as I can. I said the Texans should have been favored last week. You guys looked at me like I had 19 heads, and they came out and won by a quadrillion points. But this has gone too far. Looking ahead of 3.5 in favor of Atlanta, down to 1.5. I get the travel spot coming back from London. There's actually some data, and there's so much noise here, so there's no way that it's applicable. But the teams in this scenario coming back from London without a bye are actually, like, I think 4-2, which is outrageous. But this is just a really good spot for an Atlanta team that's found themselves in negative scripts against extremely talented teams. And now we're in a spot where even if Houston is riding as high as it seems, I don't think they're going to put Atlanta in a scenario where they have to completely abandon the run, which is what's happened these last couple of weeks. And we know that Desmond Ridder is, if Zach Wilson's not the worst starting quarterback in the league, it is Desmond Ridder. So if we get a neutral game state here, if Atlanta can run the ball, if they can get back to what they know and love, the Falcons are going to win this game and get back on the schneid and certainly cover this number short of a field goal. You guys like this pick too. This was scattered across.
Yeah, you got
your
to
top
put this
fives.
one on. You're the Texans whisperer this year.
I am the Texans whisperer. This
And
is
I
true.
just pick all the Patriots games correct, so it's just perfect.
You know what? You're pulling my leg,
Boy.
and I get to blame
It
you guys.
started when
I
you
get to-
said
I get to blame you
the
guys.
Colts. It started when you said the Colts were going to blow out the Texans. That's when it started,
Yep.
and you've been right every single week with them.
Rich is free rolling again.
Free rolling, baby. 3:07 p.m. I'm gonna send the angriest text blaming you guys. Okay, I'm putting the Falcons on the card. I'm not blaming anybody. This is the correct pick. Falcons, the graphic.
Isn't this going to be leverage too?
I don't know. I think fake sharps are going to be on this one because I think the general sentiment from people that I've been following that make content all week is that this has gone too far. Mo, what about you? What have you been hearing in the streets?
Yeah, people like the Falcons. People with models and people who are dialed into the NFL generally seem to like the Falcons in this spot. I kind of like the Falcons, and I hate the Falcons. But
that's when you know it's good.
Yeah.
When it's a team that you absolutely despise is catching your eye, then it's probably the
Well,
right
every time I look over these picks, the leaders in the contest are just laying multiple double-digit favorites every week.
All right. It's time to fire up the machine and get the collective pick.
The collective chooses the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars remain in London, but it's not at Wembley this week. In that number at the beautiful Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What the hell's going on here? Okay, we have an absolutely unprecedented travel advantage for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have remained in the capital of England. Meanwhile, Buffalo has to travel all the way across the pond. And what this line is telling me is, as it's currently, I put in Buffalo as the road team. It's 5 in the contest in favor of Buffalo, 5.5 in real life. So obviously the Jags are not at home, but I think it's fair to bake in 1.5 point of natural home field advantage, right? So what this is telling me is that the Bills are 7 points better than the Jags on a neutral field.
The Chiefs were only -3 at Jacksonville. I mean, there's no way.
I don't understand. I know Jacksonville has not played a good football game in the year of 2023 of our Lord. They've not done it for 60 minutes. That's a fact, for sure. So I'm not saying this is like put your kids' college tuition on it territory, but I don't understand this number. And the Trey White injury matters. It should have had an effect on this line, and yet it went the other way. This was a 4.5 look ahead. So
it's not just Trey White, man. Like the Bills came out of that game in bad shape. Poyer was already out last week. He's supposed to play this week, but like at what % health? Hyde was injured last week. Teron Johnson, Benford, Rousseau, all these guys are traveling this week with injuries. They are in rough shape against a quarterback with a pulse and receivers who can just destroy this secondary. Like I don't understand what's happening with this number.
Zay Jones traveled with the team last week but didn't get to play, and he's practiced all week thus far for the Jags, so getting help for their 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver sets. DP doing a lot of nodding over there. T-Law and them boys.
I mean, if you listen to this podcast and you don't have a Jaguars money bet line ticket, delete the podcast from your feed. I don't want you as a listener. We don't want you as a listener. This is the spot, okay? This is the spot. Bills off an all-time high, just trounced the Miami Dolphins. We're on here talking about how the Dolphins, at least Rich and I, were like, they're a top 5 team, top 3 team, best team in the league, blah, blah, blah. Bills hang 50 on them, whatever. Jaguars looked a little bit better last week, but come on. The Jaguars are going to be fine here. They get to stay in London? What is this spot? This is insanity. The Bills should have protested this game. Honestly, I mean, why? Like, what is this?
Not wrong.
Why did they got to go across the world? This is insane.
I mean, something Pagula had to be on the phone with Roger when this came out, right? Like, this can't be.
We get screwed every year. We have to go to Arrowhead every year too. What is happening with this effing schedule?
Well, that's just schedule rotation. That's just bad luck. It's like the Jets had literally gone.
No, he's right though. They played in Chiefs multiple times, three times in 4 years.
Yeah, that's just schedule rotation. That is quite literally random. Like the Jets have played at Denver 3 years in a row. It's just the way the schedule rotates. Trust me.
Protest.
The AFC West. So the way the AFC East and the AFC West work is that we play back-to-back years at AFC West. And then what's going to happen is after next year, there'll be back-to-back years where AFC West plays at AFC East. The same slot. So if you finish in the same place in the division, you play back-to-back in the other division. Trust me, I'm a schedule geek, so I know these things. 2020 was supposed to be the year because the Chargers and the Rams played the Jets at home. And then this neurovirus kind of went viral and didn't get a chance to go to those games. Not norovirus. So the card, as it stands, unless DP tinkers, Brett has the Bengals, DP has the Chiefs, Mo has the Steelers, I have the Falcons, and the collective have the Jaguars. 4 consensus picks, and then Brett's split game. Pretty good. Let's talk Survivor real quick, although I'm going to be out of everything now that the Commanders are down 100 here on Thursday.
Yeah, the Commanders were the team to talk about because they were like the pivot play.
They were the pivot off chalk because everyone's going to have Dolphins.
Everyone's going to have Dolphins. Everyone's going to have Lions. One of those two. So you literally just pick whatever one of those the other people aren't picking, but it ain't going to matter because they're both going to win.
I mean, these people in Circa, so people are going to save Lions, right? Because the Lions play on Thanksgiving. This might be the all-time devil spot to just take the Giants. Is that crazy? The Dolphins might have
crazy.
The Dolphins might have like 70%.
I
don't
hear
think
you,
so.
But I think no. I just think you just don't.
How about this? Okay, don't take the Giants in the contest. But how about this for an angle? Bet the Giants to score the most points this week.
Isn't their best path to getting concussed?
I guess.
So bet the Dolphins to score the least points.
Tua took a big sack last week, though, early on. Like, he got his face mushed into the turf, and I was like, oh, there it goes. He bounced right back. That's judo, though. My man's got it. He's all good.
This is the most boring week in Survivor. I'll be
brutal.
Stunned if anybody goes bust this week.
Yeah, it is brutal. That's why I'm saying ultra. Yeah, me and Brett and I.
Well, no one went bust last week.
Sorry,
Circa,
I didn't mean to kneel you guys. I meant the
went
rest
bust.
of the week.
I mean, it is second half Bears. We do have a sweat.
I mean, the Commanders already did this to us once, right, Mo?
Oh,
unfortunately, it wasn't this bad, was it?
No, it wasn't quite. It was 20.
No, we actually.
I think it was
points,
18 points.
This is. I don't know if they can do this.
I think I would YOLO on the Falcons, to be honest. I don't really think I'm picking them other times.
Home Panthers? Did they already play the Panthers at home?
If you want to be a lunatic like you guys, you could pick Cincy.
If you want to be a lunatic.
Cincy really? Well, yeah.
Do it for Hackett.
Yeah, they already played the Panthers at home.
Yeah. All right, that's the pod. I'm feeling good.
I like
the card. Like the consensus. Follow these guys on Twitter at Brett Colson, COLLSON, at Donnie_Peterson, at Mo Nuwara, NUWWARAH. I'm at Rich T. Ryan. Absolutely need 5-0. Like the video, subscribe to the page, rate and review. Peace out.